I was listening as Namrata was saying that even for a moment, if we can make our mind universal, universal तो नहीं होता है. It's not that the mind really becomes universal. It becomes, but not that easy. But what happens is that if we can simply get rid of our selfish motives and also the constrictions which come from desire, and desire means ragadvesha, clinging to the likes, hating what we dislike, and possessiveness, that is also like that, what we like we want to possess. So, although we say the mind becomes universal, it does become universal, but when we say that the mind becomes universal, it is not that the mind will go to the galaxies and everywhere and it will become universal. It is not like that. Something is constricting our mind, and they are all made of desires, basically. Raga, dvesha. You can, in simple language, our Shastras say, Kartri, Bhoktri, Bhava. That is I am the doer, I have done this, I have to do this. That I feeling, which is the constituent of our ego. And Bhoktri means always our tendency is we want to enjoy something other than ourselves. That is the greatest obstacle in knowing that I am all. Because our tendency, we are looking for something different from what I am. That itself will not allow us to become universal or expand our mind. So it is, if we practically think about it, all the Upanishads, what they are doing is the same. In taking different Upanishads, it is different background, different way of expression in some cases, but basically it is the only single truth they are speaking about. That way all of us are very fortunate that we have to speak about only one thing. We don't have to speak about many things, as in science or humanities or any other language, in any other studies. We have to speak about so many things. Here, in the name of so many Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Vivek Chudamani, what we are speaking is the same truth, the same thing. We don't have to learn anything more. But speaking it in terms of some text, there we have to understand this text, the words, the way it has expressed, and a comprehensive idea about the text, how it is going to present the truth. As far as the sadhana is concerned, we have just to get rid of our kartri bhoktri bhava, our desires and possessiveness. The universality dawns automatically. It's not that the mind will become infinite or anything. The mind will not have any constrictions, so it will always be sky-like, as I say always, spatial. It will not feel any stress or constriction from the tendency to enjoy something. Even in a very advanced state also, if we are lying quiet on the bed, if we look into our mind, we will find that we are looking for something, Something might be very little. That to do something, to have something, or to get some appreciation, or to do in our own manner which we are not able to, something we are not happy about. We are looking for something. So, this universality or whatever we say, it comes automatically when, as Swamiji says, as Baba used to say, that Kichui Chaina, I don't want anything at all. That I want nothing or I don't want anything. It's not an easy statement. That is why I am saying, even in a quiet period, if you look within your mind, you will find that I want something. I am not happy with whatever we have got. We are not fulfilled. So basically, although we say universality, expansion, etc., it is basically to get rid of the tendencies which are constricting our mind and buddhi. So that is what we are doing throughout. The Upanishads, it is not that we have learned Kathopanishad, we have learned Mundakopanishad, we will have more knowledge by learning this. No, it is not so. Even if we learn Kathopanishad, instead of learning Kathopanishad, Mundakopanishad, Kenopanishad, Brihadaranyaka part, then I have taken what? Last one was Ishopanishad. Instead of that, if we had read one chapter of Kathopanishad 5 times, instead of reading 5 Upanishads, then also we would have got the same thing. Because it is not just to know what is there in the Upanishads. What is the essence of the Upanishads is our main thing. And that is what we have to constantly look into. So, because the suggestions came about, I was telling that what do we do? It is not learning the Upanishad, what is there in them, but using the scriptures as a tool. This I go on saying repeatedly. It is so. We have to use the scriptures as a tool to purify our mind, to remove the constrictions from our mind. So as many times we meditate on it, we listen to it, we read, study it, what happens is that interaction with the concept of the soul, it makes our mind soul-like. The mind becomes the Atma. The mind, whatever concept of Atma we have, as we are perfecting the concept of the Atma by studying any of the scriptures, what we are doing is that we are interacting with the concept of the Atma. By constant interactions, we are absorbing the qualities, the characteristics of the Atma, and the mind becomes the Atma. Atma never changes. Atma remains wherever it is. The mind, buddhi, they change, they get transformed, they get purified, they get expansion, so they become like Atma. This is what happens. So the Shastras have to be used as tools for purifying our mind, expanding our mind. Now this Kaivalya Upanishad is a small Upanishad. It appears in Atharva Veda with 24 verses. Our Ishopanishad was only 18 verses. Here it is 24 verses. And in Krishna Yajurveda it appears with 26 verses. Hardly any difference, it's the same. It is not amongst the 10 or 10 plus 1, that is even including Shvetashvatara, the Upanishads which Shankaracharya has written Bhashya. Kaivalya Upanishad it doesn't have any Shankara Bhashya. So because it is Atharva Veda, we have the same Shanti mantra as we did for Mundaka Upanishad. Even the shlokas and the way of presentation also it is very much like the beginning of Mundaka Upanishad. Some shlokas are common also, part of some shlokas. So we will start with the chanting of Shanti mantras, that is Bhadram Karne Bhishnuyama Devaha. I will not interpret the Shanti mantra because we have already done it during Mundaka Upanishad and some other time also. Moreover, in our website as well as in YouTube, it is very much there. The 10 Shanti mantras, 10 Upanishadic Shanti mantras, it is there, on which I have exclusively taken a few lectures which are all available. Anybody wants can listen to that. So we will just chant and go over to Kaivalya Upanishad. I did not do the initial opening Guru Pranama, so I will do that and then again start. Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते. हरि ओम तत्सत्. जय गुरु. So we will start with the Shanti mantra. Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः.
Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः.
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः.
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः.
स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः.
स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः.
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः.
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः.
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः.
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः.
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः.
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः.
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः.
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः.
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु.
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Now, this first, the name of the Upanishad itself, it is called Kaivalya Upanishad. The meaning of Upanishad, there are various ways of interpreting it, I have discussed earlier. Basically, Upa means going near. Ni has various meanings. Here we can take Nirviseshananda, that means completely. And Shad has come from the Sad Dhatu, that is, it has come from, it depletes, it takes away. That means coming near which all our constrictions, our mala, all our impurities will be depleted, taken away. So see, even the Upanishad term also is saying that it has to be used as a tool, as I said just now. Tool means what? We are using the Upanishad to cleanse ourselves, to remove our impurities, to remove our constrictions. And the Kaivalya term means aloneness. Now, aloneness, we have to think deeply. We feel we are alone when nobody is around, but the whole nature, the whole universe is there. And as if, suppose you have gone to a huge sea or some forest or so, nobody is around. There also trees are there, the whole universe is there. So any aloneness we generally think of in the objective universe, it is not the real one, the aloneness of whatever we are meaning in spirituality. This aloneness means it is transcending the duality. What does it mean? This aloneness means that I am everywhere and there is nothing other than me. The Kaivalya means that. Kaivalya means that I am alone. But this alone has a completely different meaning, because there cannot be anything other than that. So in one sense, when we say alone, we feel we are secluded. Is it not? But here it means I am Poorna. I am full. So you won't look for any second. Normally alone means we look for something else, different from us, different from me. Here this aloneness means you don't look for anything more, because you are and nothing else. So that is what in Poorna Mada I had explained, that it is not the objective Poornata that we mean. It is a subjective or transcendental Poornata, where there is no question of any duality. Sarvabhuteshu Atmanam Sarvabhutani Atmani. That the Atma is there everywhere and everything is in the Atma, in Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere this is what it is. It is the non-dual sthiti which is called Kaivalya. Kevali Bhava. That means you are full. You don't look for anything second. You don't look for anything at all. See that right in the title itself, the whole Upanishad is spoken about. In another sense, this name means that one who is really aspiring for this Kaivalya, or who is fit to grow into this Kaivalya, they are the fit recipient of this Upanishad. That is, who will study this Upanishad? Who sincerely aspires to attain this Kaivalya, Kaivalyatva or Kaivalyahood, or who has enough quality or characteristics, qualities, virtues, which makes him competent, fit, deserving to absorb and become Kevala, to absorb the Kaivalya Bhava. So, it is meant for those who are aspiring for Kaivalyatva, and the adhikari, that in any shastra we say adhikara bodha, adhikara tattva, or adhikari, that means who is fit to study and grasp this text. There also, the meaning is a person who has enough of characteristics to sincerely aspire for this Poornata, which is Kaivalya Bhava, and who sincerely aspires for that, he is the fit recipient of this Shastra, or he can understand and grasp and grow through this text. Now, In another sense, this Kaivalya, as I said, then when there is no second at all, everything is same. So you can even say that it is the ultimate subjective homogeneity or uniformity also. Because there is no bheda. As earlier also in various circumstances I have said, abheda darshanam jnanam. What is this spiritual knowledge? What is this advaya knowledge or non-dual knowledge? It is abheda darshanam jnanam. When there is no bheda bhava anywhere. Bheda means there is some differential. That means it is some two is coming in. We can differentiate one from the other. When everything is Atma, then there is no bheda, no differential notion at all. So it is that kind of a homogeneity or uniformity. That is also whenever we say homogeneity or uniformity, you are always thinking in terms of objective homogeneity, objective uniformity. That you are looking at the sky and the sky is homogeneous. When you are not seeing any star or planet or anything, it's absolutely uniform. But you are there, you are not the sky. So there is a duality there. You are the seer and the sky you are saying homogeneous or uniform. Here it is not so. You have nothing to see. The knower and the known, the seer and the seen, they have all got merged into that transcendental oneness. That is what we are calling the uniformity or homogeneity. So everywhere as we read the Upanishads, if you can bring in this inversion, that all concepts when we are studying, when we are reading, because this transcendental concept cannot be exactly expressed by the words. We can try to express through various ways and various words, but there cannot be any word expressing it, because then it will become object. It will no more be the transcendental or subject. But we have to give it always, because whenever we say subtle, whenever we say uniform, whenever we say Poorna, we think in terms of some objective situation. There always we have to give it a sort of an inversion, that no, the Shastras are not speaking about these objective things. It is speaking about the transcendental, which comes when the subject and object, they merge together, which is non-dual. If you can remember this, and always in reading the Shastras you can apply this, you will find the Shastras will start speaking to you. You don't have to read too many things also. This means you have got the essence and now you have to grasp it fully. You have to actualize it fully. That is the key to using the Shastras as a tool. So, let us start with the first mantra, the verse. This Upanishad, it has got meters, so it's nice to read otherwise also. It starts with a statement, Atha Ashvalayano Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametya Uvacha. Uvacha means said. Then what he said, therefrom the verse is starting. Atha means then. Ashvalayanaha. Ashvalayanaha is one Rishi's name. He appears in Rigveda also. Now, somewhere it is said that he was the disciple of Shaunaka. Now, whether it is the Shaunaka of Mundaka Upanishad, we don't know. But because both are belonging to Atharva Veda, we can think that Shaunaka, who is a student in Mundaka Upanishad, Shaunako havai mahasalo angirasam vidhivadupasanna papracha. There Shaunaka, who was a great householder, mahasalaha, he renouncing everything, he goes to Angiras and asking him, Kasminnu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati iti. By knowing which, everything will become known. That is also a form of enquiry which takes us to the ultimate truth. Here, this Ashvalayana Rishi is a disciple of Shaunaka. Whether it is same Shaunaka or not, we cannot say. Because this Ashvalayana is going to Brahma, the creator. That is the first of the causal universe. Why I am saying causal? Because we always look for cause, because in the objective thing, everywhere we find there is a causality. Without cause, there won't be any effect. That is why we ask for how was the earth created? Oh, from the sun. How was the sun created? Who created the universe? Oh, God created the universe. Who created God? That we don't ask. Actually, we should ask. So this causality doesn't take us to the ultimate truth. This I have explained in terms of logic also so many times. So we terminate this causal enquiry by thinking of imagining or conceiving one Brahma who is the Swayambhu. He was born of himself. Nobody gave rise to his birth or so. He was born Swayambhu, who apne aap janam le liya. That is, there is, by saying Swayambhu, what we say that don't look for further cause. There is no cause for Brahma. The whole causal universe is starting from Brahma and coming down to this multifarious objective universe. Those who want to know how did Brahma come and what is beyond Brahma, that is the inquiry of spirituality. Then we understand that causality is limited within the ken of duality. By definition, through causality, you cannot get to any ultimate absolute truth at all. So we have to transcend the causality. That means we have to transcend the duality of knower and the known, seer and the seen, or it's often called the Trinity, the Triputi. In Sanskrit it's called Triputi. That is knower, known and knowing process, seer, seen and seeing process, where all the three merge together and we reach the transcendental level. So, Parameshti means who is seated at the highest position. That is the Brahma, the creator of the universe. He is the first of this causality chain. You can easily look for the non-causal also. In dream, everything appears, there is no cause. In dream, you can make beautiful spacecraft and aircraft and ship and whatnot, or you can create any number of beings without doing anything at all. They simply appear. And they simply disappear also. So that is produced by our consciousness. In dream, the whole dream world is produced by our consciousness, where no causality is there. It just appears and disappears. That gives us the clue that the whole universe is also exactly like that. It is appearing in the consciousness, disappearing in the consciousness. No causality is there. Causality is in the universe which is appearing. So we cannot extend that causality beyond the objective level. So he says that Ashvalayana here in this Kaivalya Upanishad, he is going to Brahma himself to get his lesson. Whereas in Mundaka Upanishad you find a whole hierarchy is given, and Shaunaka comes at the end as the disciple. What was the hierarchy? Brahma Devanam Prathamah Sambhavuva. Brahma was the firstborn. Then Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta. He is the protector of the whole universe. Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jeshta Putraya Praha. There he says that the Brahma gave the instruction to Atharva. Atharva was from whose name this Atharva Veda has come, who was Brahma's eldest son. Now what did Atharva do? Atharvaneyam pravadeta Brahma atharvatam purovacha angire Brahma vidyam sa bharadvajaya satyavahaya praha bharadvajo angirase paravaram. See how many 4 generations of disciples have passed. And then it came to Angiras. Then he says, Shaunako havai mahashalo angirasam vidivadupasannah papracha. That means there Shaunaka is going to have this Brahma Vidya from Angiras, who in 5 generations later got it from Brahma came down by 5 steps like that. It doesn't matter at all that I got it from Brahma, so I have got the correct thing or the best thing. And you got it from Angiras after 5 steps, so you are not getting the right thing or the purest thing. It is not like that. This Brahma Vidya is such a thing that as it was available during Angiras's time, say thousands and thousands of years ago in prehistoric times, we don't know. It is available right now also because it is the essence of our own existence. This is the essence of our being. The coming to know our real identity, shifting the identity from the egoistic identity, egoistic personality to the real universal identity. That is the Brahma Vidya. So it is not like that, but definitely why in the beginning they give this heredity, the lineage and all, it is to give into the reader's mind or the disciple's mind a pedigree, a dignity of this Vidya, that don't consider it to be something to be ignored. It is there since the beginning of the creation. The Creator Himself has given it. Actually it is so. The Creator also is born of this truth. And it is coming down through the great rishis. Each rishi in his life has realized this and given it to the next generation. Again, the next generation, the rishi has realized it, actualized the truth, and again given it to the next generation. Like that, through this auspicious lineage, the Brahma Vidya remains available to us from era to era. This is what they want to say. Because whatever we can gain from something, if we value that, if you can value properly even if the best of the thing, if you don't evaluate it properly, if you don't have value for it, you will not get anything from it. Everywhere it depends on how much importance we give to this. So, in the beginning of the Shastras, to generate some value in the listener's mind or the disciple's mind, all these are given. And it is true also, whether it is through 5 generations, 4 generations, the fact is that it is coming down through the Rishi lineage. In that lineage, in no era, it was missing. This we should appreciate. Suppose in one time, in these thousands and thousands of years, how old we don't know. Suppose in one time, there was either no guru or no disciple. That is, gurus are there, but there is no disciple to pass that knowledge to the next generation. Or disciples could be there, but there is no guru who can pass the knowledge to him. Then the Brahma Vidya would have got vanished. Then somebody again would have to try to know it himself without the guru, like Brihadaranyaka, our Yajnavalkya and so. Will have to try, do it himself. But that is not the case. It is easily running down from generation to generation through the Rishi Parampara. So, Ashvalayana Rishi, he is saying Bhagavantam Parameshthinam. That is the Bhagavan means who has got the Bhagas, that means the 6 great powers. Generally we say that Bhagavan we refer to a person who has got all those powers. I am not going deep into that. Parameshthinam means Brahma. Upasametya uvacha. See, these words, they are in all the Upanishads, I have pointed out earlier also, they are like tremendous powerful capsules. He started with, actually there should be a Om. In the beginning, in my book, the Om is not there. That Om is a symbol of Brahma Vidya. Om represents Brahma Vidya. So whenever we are chanting the Om first, that means Aum. We start with the open, wakeful state, go down to the dream state, to the sleep state, then to silence. The sound goes to the silence, wherefrom it has come. The sound comes from the silence, goes to the silence. This Om represents the Brahma Vidya, which is transcending time, transcending space. It is past, present, future, everything is merged in it. So everywhere in the important mantras, Om is used. It represents Brahma Vidya in two senses, as I had explained during Mundaka Upanishad. The one is, it represents the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, that is the Brahma Vidya. Another is that Om chanting can be used as an upasana. That means with the help of the chanting, our mind can go to its amani bhava, go to its no mind state, or the substratum from where the mind is coming. So it can be used as an alambana or as support of the sound. The sound will take us to the origin of the sound, the substratum of the mind. So that is called upasana or meditation. It can be used like that, or it can symbolize the whole Brahma Vidya, which is done in Mandukya Upanishad. Now after that he is saying Atha. Atha means then. Now why it is that then? Suddenly the story starts with a then. That means something was happening before. Even in Brahma Sutra also, Atha ato Brahma Jijnasa. Now therefore, or then therefore, is the inquiry into the absolute truth or ultimate truth. Now what is this then? What are they signifying by saying then? That means previous something has happened. So this, in interpreting Brahma Sutras, Shankaracharya has discussed it in great detail. What is that? Atha means, it is the adhikara tattva. That means the person, who is the person here? Ashvalayana, who became a rishi later. Now if Ashvalayana is going to learn Brahma Vidya from Brahma, before going to Brahma, something must have happened in the life of Ashvalayana. What was that? In Mundaka Upanishad, it was Shaunako havai mahashala angirasam vidhivat upasanna papracha. Each word is designating something. That means before going to Brahma, asking for the Brahma Vidya, he must have got enough of Sadhana Chatushtaya. Shankaracharya has put it as Sadhana Chatushtaya. That means enough of the qualities which will make him fit to receive, deserving to receive the Brahma Vidya. So there was lot of discussion about it. Suppose in Kathopanishad, I had expressed there also, that many people had interpreted the Brahma Sutras as Atha means he has done all the karma kandas. That means he has done Yaga, Yajna and various things from the Vedas. So he has completed his Vedic studies or Vedic practices, and now he is going for the knowledge to the Upanishad, that is the Vedanta part of it. So if anybody has not done the Yaga, Yajna, then he will not be fit for the Brahma Vidya, not be fit for the Vedanta. How can it be? So the Kathopanishad is a ready example that Nachiketa's father was doing one of the greatest yaga. He was given to Karmakanda. But doing all the Karmakanda also, his mind had not expanded. He remained very constricted in his mind. He was gifting all the wrong cows to the priest who did the yajna for him. So the Upanishad is showing that Nachiketa's father was not fit for the Brahma Vidya. Why? Because although he practiced everything of the Karma Kanda, but he did not do it with the proper methods, the proper mindset, which will purify his mind, which will take away all the desires. That he did not do. So the purpose of the karma kanda was not fulfilled in him. Whereas Nachiketa, a 7-year-old boy who had not done any karma at all, so to say, studied only the rudimentary things, dharma and all. Such a boy, how did he become absolutely fit for Brahma Vidya? So much so that the Guru, there it is the Yamaraja, he is saying that, oh Nachiketa, more and more disciples like you come to me. More and more disciples like you come to me. Also he says that, Nachiketa, you have got all the qualities. Brahma sadhana is wide open before you. You simply walk in. Nothing more is necessary. That means he was already fit for Brahma Vidya. That means that Nachiketa's mind, buddhi, everything was fit for receiving Brahma Vidya. Whereas Nachiketa's father's mind, buddhi was not fit for. They were not fit for receiving the Brahma Vidya. Father was not fit in spite of doing all the rituals, whereas the son was fit without doing any rituals. Why? That is where the main adhikara tattva, or the fitness count. Shankaracharya says it is the Sadhana Chatushtaya. In Nachiketa's story, I have pointed out one by one that all these Sadhana Chatushtayas were amply present in Nachiketa. By the incidents in the story, while explaining Kathopanishad, I have explained that how Nachiketa presents these qualities one after another, and which his father lacked. So it is the Sadhana Chatushtaya in ample measure which makes a person fit to receive Brahma Vidya. That is the meaning of this small 2-lettered word, Atha. Can you imagine our people, our country, our literature? What kind of greatness they have? They will not unnecessarily spend too much of time. If you are studying Kaivalya Upanishad, it is expected that you know the meaning of Atha. That was our country. I said that even forget about this far past, even 500 BC or so, when our Takshashila was still there, before it was destroyed by the Hunas. They completely destroyed it. Takshashila had got 4 gates. In each gate there was a Dwarapala. Each gate was protected by 4 gatekeepers. Who were the gatekeepers? They were 4 scholarly people, extremely brilliant scholarly people. If anybody wants to enter Takshashila University, either from the west or from the east or from the north or from the south, he has to face that particular Dwarapala standing there. And he has to get into an argument with the gatekeeper. If the gatekeeper feels that yes, he is fit to enter the Vishwavidyalaya, that is the university, he will allow him after the interview. Can you imagine these things? So, Atha means enough of Sadhana Chatushtaya. What are they? I will not go deeper into it, but we have discussed in these satsangs also so many times. It is Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi Shatka Sampattihi, Mumuksha. The 4 qualities are Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti, means a conglomeration of 6 treasures. Sampatti means treasure. Not outer treasure, inner treasure. 6 kinds of inner treasure. And mumuksha, that is the burning aspiration to get liberated from all the bondages we are suffering from. The mind is always suffering from bondages. That is why it is not fulfilled. Why are we not having the fulfillment? Because something is constricting us. Those are the bondages. When the bondages are gone, we will be fulfilled, we will feel free. That happiness is not like the ordinary happiness as we look for, but that happiness is the ultimate, never dying happiness. That is the fulfillment. Now, Viveka, generally it is defined as the discrimination between Nitya and Anitya. Nitya means which never changes, which is permanent, and Anitya means which is always fleeting. Now, if we look into the world, that nothing in the world, in the created universe can be permanent. Everything, creation means it is based on change. Everything in creation, it was not there, it has appeared and it will not be there after some time. So in the whole of objectitude, you cannot find anything which is changeless. So naturally, you look for something different from the objectitude. What is there? The subject. And when you go into the subject, you find that the whole universe, the objectitude, is appearing in that subject. The changes, the causality, the multiplicity, the Bheda Buddhi, the differential notion, everything is in this created universe. But nothing touches the subject, I, the consciousness. Consciousness is not a thing in the objectitude, in the objective world. It is not that kind of a consciousness. The whole world is appearing in that consciousness. So the world is within the consciousness. The body is within the consciousness, not the consciousness is within the body. Now, the Viveka will take us to this level by constantly distinguishing this, that what is permanent and what is impermanent. But that discrimination is a discrimination of the buddhi. Mark my words very well. It differentiates the real sadhana from a scholarly sadhana. We will discriminate very well. As just now I have said what is Nitya and what is Anitya. But that is not Viveka. Viveka, we will call the discrimination Viveka only when after discriminating between Nitya and Anitya, you will follow Nitya and not the Anitya. You understood that in this world everything is fleeting, but you want to hold on to the things, hold on to your relative, son, wife, husband. You want to hold on to your building, hold on to your prestige, hold on to your chair in the office. Everything we are always trying to hold on, knowing that they are fleeting. That is not Viveka. Viveka means whatever you have known to be true, you have to follow that, you have to walk that path. Only when you can do it, we will call it Viveka. So, this Viveka, as you do, automatically it will take away your worldliness. What is our worldliness? Clinging to what we like and hating what we dislike, running away from what we dislike and running after what we like, running after gains, fearful about losing anything. These are together creating the worldliness. So if we are looking always for the permanent, if we do it properly and follow it as I said in Viveka, then automatically the mind will start losing its clinging to all the perishable things, changeful things of the world. So the worldliness of the mind will slowly get washed off. Do you understand my point? By the application of the Viveka, as much as you are analyzing and getting to know what is that unchanging, and you are following that, you are aspiring for that, what happens is that whatever you have been clinging to so far, they are not the Nitya, they are all Anitya. So the possessiveness, the clinging to these Anitya elements will slowly get washed off. That is called Vairagya. So Viveka will automatically lead you to Vairagya. The mind, everything will happen, but the mind will never get affected by anything. As the Atma, the consciousness never gets affected or changed by anything happening in the world, the mind also will become, by thinking about the Atma, the mind also will become more and more Atma-like. It will come closer and closer to the Atma. To the Atma means it will become more and more like the Atma. So naturally, your clinging to what you like and hating what you dislike, it will start disappearing. You will find that you can remain unaffected in various life situations which you were not able to do earlier. Earlier, every little thing, somebody abused something, somebody told you something wrongly or rightly, you used to get so upset about it. You will find that those are not affecting me anymore. If there is anything to be done, you will do. If there is nothing to be done, somebody said something, that will not go on drilling in your brain anymore. The stress, tension, everything will go. So Vairagya is a sky-like, is a spatial state of the mind, where you don't cling to anything. No more possessiveness. Either object or subtle things. We are possessive about many things inside our mind also. All those will drop off. So Viveka and Vairagya, Viveka leads us to Vairagya, and as the Vairagya, this is very, very important, they are regenerative. That as the Vairagya increases, you will find that your buddhi is able to discriminate Nitya and Anitya very well. More and more Vairagya dawns. Why? Because earlier the buddhi was clouded. It was clouded by Raga Dvesha, clouded by our clinging. That buddhi, clinging to various things, various troubles of our character also. The buddhi gets clouded, it is not able to see the truth. So as the Vairagya dawns, the buddhi is freed from this clouding. And that means the Viveka becomes sharper, clearer and stronger. So as the Viveka grows, you are able to understand and discriminate much better. So the Vairagya also grows. So they help each other. As the Viveka grows, Vairagya grows and gets enhanced. As the Vairagya increases, the Viveka also increases. Like that, they take us to the final goal. Now, in the process of this Viveka Vairagya, what happens is that we find automatically the mind is getting enriched with 6 kinds of treasures. Shamadamadi Shatga Sampatti. 6 treasures. Anything that spirituality speaks about is internal. It never speaks about the external. Even the Tyaga, renunciation during Isha Upanishad, I have explained. External Tyaga will not give you anything unless the mind knows that I am not attached to anything, I am not affected by anything at all. That is the Praudha Vairagya. That we understand, we realize that we are not touched by anything at all. So these 6 treasures are Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. Shama, Dama, Uparati. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. Shama. Shama means, I will just briefly touch. Shama means the calmness of the mind. This, as I said, that Viveka and Vairagya, particularly Vairagya, will automatically take you to a calmness of the mind. All kinds of disturbing thoughts in the mind, they will go. They are all because of our clinging to what we like and hating what we dislike. So as the Vairagya grows, the Raga Dvesha gets attenuated or washed off. The mind starts becoming calm. It doesn't run after very many desireful objects or anything. As the Shama dawns, we find that we don't have to struggle with our sense attractions, our food, our various other practices. Automatically, full control over our being dawns. See how one follows the other. From Viveka, Vairagya. Vairagya to lack of tension, agitation, disturbance, or calmness. From the calmness to greater discipline and complete control over the various senses and the bodily parts. Dhamma. Titiksha. Titiksha means we will not get affected by anything. Suppose something has gone wrong. Well, you correct it. Nobody is saying that the whatever has gone wrong you will not correct. Suppose the house has fallen, you have to rebuild the house. You can rebuild, but before you start rebuilding, you go on howling and crying, oh Lord, why did it happen to me? All others are fine, I am only suffering like this, and so many things. That is, our mind gets affected by something happened in the past. First of all, is it not foolishness? Whatever has happened in the past, can you go back in time? Can you? You can never walk back in time. If you have lost certain things, it has gone. If you have to get back it again, that is again you have to work for it and you get back. That is in the future. But the past, why it has gone, why to me, why, all these things are absolutely irrelevant. Why are you saying that? You analyze your mind, that the mind is not ready to accept what has happened. So the mind is not agitated because of whatever has happened, but the mind is agitated or affected because of the non-readiness of the mind to accept what has happened. Is it clear? The two are different. If you remain unaffected by whatever has happened, say calamity, many things have happened, but it has happened. If you accept it, immediately the mind will be calm. The agitation will go, the stress will go. Now tell me, which mind is more efficient in solving the problem, any problem in life? Which mind is more efficient? Is it the agitated mind or a calm mind, a peaceful mind? Is it not a peaceful mind is more efficient in solving anything? So when we are agitated and affected by whatever has happened, it has already happened. There is no way that you cannot accept it. You have to accept it whether you want it or not. But it has happened. If you accept it, then immediately the mind becomes calm and you can solve whatever problem has come up in a much more efficient manner. There are many stories in our traditional lay also, that as long as the mind is desireful and agitated and fearful, the solution is right there. We don't see the solution. We run for many things. Even in spirituality also. Our own identity is the Atma. We run throughout the forest and mountains and Himalayas and all looking for Atma. Being the Atma, we go around everywhere because the mind is not settled, not calm. In the calm mind, you discover the Atma right there. You don't have to go anywhere at all. There are stories where a person extremely poor is looking for some nidhi here and there. And the God being pleased, he is keeping things right in front. But this man is so agitated that he is not seeing that he is running after something else. And even if he gets something, suppose a diamond, he will say, no, it cannot be diamond. For diamond I have to do lot of work to get a diamond. It cannot be right in front of me. So he will throw it. So, that is titiksha. Titiksha means unaffectedness. Unaffected by anything. Any dukkha, anything, you will not get affected by it. So you will be tremendously efficient by having titiksha. Everything you will accept and whatever to be done, you will do with the fullest efficiency. Uparati. Generally, rati means our engagement, our enjoyment, indulgence. That means we generally, rati is in the world. Our senses, they always enjoy the world. That is something different from us, as I said in the beginning. Always we are looking for something different from myself, to have some enjoyment, to relish something. So we are always having rati towards the world. Uparati means that rati will be withdrawn. Now this uparati, actually rati will not be withdrawn. What happens is that when the Atma rati takes over, then automatically the rati will not be in the world but in the Atma. Atma rati means one who delights in the self. He may not be self-realized, but whatever he is studying about the self, whatever he is practicing to reach the self, that gives him so much of joy that he starts delighting in the concept of the self. So no longer the earlier things he might have delighted in many things of the world, they no longer delight him anymore. They don't delight him anymore. So this uparati is actually, it is a result of atmarati. As much the atmarati goes, so much will be the uparati. Or the reverse you can say. As much you withdraw from the world, so much you will develop the atmarati. And atmic presence will be felt that much. Then shama, dama, titiksha, uparati, shraddha. Generally shraddha is given right in the beginning. Here shraddha is coming so late. So they must be speaking about a great shraddha. Shraddha in Vedanta, it is defined as Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Bhakti Shraddha Nigadyate. Satya Buddhi Avadharanam in Vivek whatever. That Shraddha means that having full faith in whatever the Shastra says or the Guru says. I would like to understand Shraddha with a little different manner. Because in Bhagavad Gita, in 17th chapter, he is saying, Shraddha mayoyam purushaha, yo yat shraddha saeva saha. Shraddha mayaha ayam purushaha, yo yat shraddha saeva saha. He is saying a man is nothing but an embodiment of his shraddha. Whatever his shraddha is, he is that. Suppose that you value money. So throughout the day your mind will be on money. You have gone to a beautiful place with beautiful scenery and all. You will not enjoy the scenery so much. You will think that it's a real fact. One known person of our previous generation, he had gone to Kashmir. In Bengali, Rabindranath Tagore used to say, Bhu Swarga Kashmir. That means Kashmir was called the heaven on earth. So people will read various things about it. So he also felt that I will go to Kashmir to see I am talking about 1960s. So he went and came back. He was a very big businessman. He went and came back. When we asked, he said that what is there to see? Only hills and only some snow and hills. Nothing else is there. In Bengali, আছে কি খালি পাহাড় আর পাহাড় তবে হ্যাঁ লোকগুলো খুব ভালো ব্যবসা জানে. What is the translation? What is there? It's only mountain and mountain. But yes, the people, the Kashmiris, they know business very well. Now he is a businessman, so he sees everywhere about business, about money and all. Suppose you value this Atmic realization most in your life. You give God or this absolute truth, the ultimate truth, the supreme position in your life. Then will you not automatically go on thinking about that and spend maximum time on that? So your Shraddha will be that, and he will be an embodiment of that Shraddha. So if we can define in this manner, the Shraddha is actually whatever we are valuing most in life. If we value character, we will have character. If we value money, we will have money. If you value the ultimate truth, you will become spiritual. If you value inquiry, you will read, you will know, you will do research, you will find out. Whatever you value most in life, you become that. And that is the Shraddha. Because whatever you value most, automatically your attention, your devotion will be towards that. So the maximum possible assiduous attention, devotion, everything will be towards that what you value most. Those who are very, very honest, they are staunch honest, rigidly honest. They don't worry about anything, care about anything happening. They may lose their job, they may lose their everything, but they will not compromise with their honesty. They have Shraddha towards that, they value that most, they have attention towards that. they do that with full devotion and attention. So, Shraddha is the value, that what we are giving supreme value. In Vedanta, when we give supreme value to this ultimate goal, what is that? Our real identity, identifying with that. That is the treasure. So, why it is a treasure? Because in any understanding the scriptures or pursuing our sadhana, this Shraddha is the most important. We will come in the second shloka also. It is again coming. Shraddha is the most important there. Because otherwise you will not understand. Suppose many people, particularly some Western Upanishadic interpretations were there. Earlier they were popular. Wherever there are great statements they have not been able to understand, they have completely degraded those statements of the Upanishads. What does it mean? Because they did not have the Shraddha. Whatever they are not able to understand, they have completely, either they have thrown off, it is prakshipta, means it is interpolated, or they have interpreted in their own manner, absolutely taking away the soul of the Upanishads. So, this Shraddha towards what the Shastras say and what the Guru says, it is very important in entire spiritual pursuit. That is why they have given at this end, the Shraddha is coming at that point. Before that you are pursuing many things, Viveka, Vairagya you are pursuing, but the Shraddha comes slowly, it gets frozen, it gets consolidated, it gets deeply embedded in our being as we proceed. And as soon as the Shraddha comes, soon follows the Samadhana. The mind remains. We will no longer be. That is how this order has come. Once the real Shraddha dawns in our mind, you don't have any problem with the mind running here, there and all. The mind will be constantly given to the soul, to the Atma, to the spiritual goal. That is called Samadhana. It will be absolutely stable and fixed on the goal. When this is done, comes mumuksha. That means no longer any bondage we can bear. Any little bondage. Why it is coming at the end? Because of that. Mumuksha is there right from the beginning. Without mumuksha, viveka will not come. Without mumuksha, vairagya will not come. But the ultimate also is mumuksha, because the bondages, whatever subtle bondages, subtle constrictions our mind is suffering from, we will not be able to tolerate them anymore. The mind will try to force open into the sky that no longer bondage, no longer the earlier. Throughout life we have carried so many sentiments, so many emotions, this, that and what not. We generally don't think about it, but really when you come across all these things, you feel that how foolish we have been all along. Unnecessarily troubled life. So this is what qualifies a person for studying the Upanishad and understanding and grasping its value. So naturally they are not talking in terms of the extreme level, the peak level, but enough of Sadhana Chatushtaya. Because the ultimate attainment is nothing but these Sadhana Chatushtaya growing into its fullness. There is nothing like Atma to be created or to be had from anywhere. It is the Sadhana Chatushtaya together, they grow in us and we become absolutely free of all bondage. We get liberated. So the Sadhana Chatushtaya we start with, we grow through Sadhana Chatushtaya, and finally the Sadhana Chatushtaya get completely fulfilled through our being. That is what the sadhana is. This is the meaning of the first two-lettered word Atha. Atha. That Ashvalayana had got enough of this Sadhana Chatushtaya. That is why he went to the Parameshthi, the supreme creator, asking him what? Now it is not over. There are upasametya. Upasametya. Sama is coming from samyak. Samyak rupena etya. That means he came near to Brahma in the proper manner as the Vedas have prescribed. Samyak rupena, as in Mundaka Upanishad it was. No, that is there, but here, Vidhivad Upasanna Papracha. Shaunaka approached Angiras, Vidhivad Upasanna, as it should be for a real seeker, a serious seeker, a devoted seeker. He went in that manner. Not only that, with lot of humility, devotion and sincerity. Because to whom you are going, that should also be in your mind. If you have not valued this ultimate goal, you will not value the person also, the teacher also. So when you are going to the teacher, you cannot go with the lightness of joking or anything of that you are not deep about your enquiry. You have just gone with some curiosity, not with an enquiry. So you have to go with a serious, deep enquiry. At least with humility, that here is somebody who knows where lies the auspicious goal. He can show me the path where lies my auspicious goal. This kind of a full, deep faith, that is what makes a person, a seeker, approach the Guru in the proper manner. In other places, as in Mundaka Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everywhere it is there. In Bhagavad Gita it is Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya jnanina upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. That when you go to the jnani, to the knower, to know the truth, tadviddhi, that means you have to know the truth. How? Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. You go to a jnani who knows, who has already crossed the ocean of samsara. Go humbly, pranipatena, prostration, pariprasnena. You ask about his welfare and whatever you have to ask with lot of humility, knowing the wholesomeness of your enquiry and wholesomeness, where you have come, to whom you are approaching, what should be your attitude in asking the question. And sevaya, by serving him, because serving will make you humble. It's not that you go with, you are a great Raja, king. You go and say, oh, you are sitting here, have you known the truth? Yes, tell me. It cannot be done like that. I think it was Rockefeller who went to Vivekananda in that way. And Vivekananda just looked at him. I think it is Rockefeller. So, in later on in Mundaka Upanishad itself, he is saying that, what is that? You said just now? No, first line. What is the shloka? Got it. It is in Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12 and 13. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayan nasti akritah kritena tadvijnanaartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtham. He says that Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat na asti akritah kritena. By examining this world you cannot neglect. This world is taking us to the spiritual truth. When we are completely lost in the world, that is why we are not able to understand the truth. But this world itself will make us investigate that what is the ultimate gain we are looking for. So examining the world which is karma chitan, which is out of action, you are getting everything. It is all made of karma, causality. So one should become dispassionate that nothing is going to be imperishable, nothing is going to be there for permanently there. Nasti akritah kritena, and I am looking for something which is imperishable, immortal, unchanging. By doing anything, the result will be always short-lived. It is only cause and effect, cause and effect. We can never attain the unchanging, imperishable, absolute. So then what to do? How to get? In the world nowhere there is anything imperishable. Tat vijnanartham sa gurum eva abhigachet. To have the realized knowledge, or the proper knowledge of it, to understand the truth, to absorb the truth, to realize the truth, to anubhava it is called, anubhuti. I will explain next day again in great detail. Sa gurum eva vigachet. He has to go to guru who knows. He cannot go to the police station or to the president or to the scholarly people. He has to go to a guru who has lived the knowledge. He can give you the knowledge. You have to go to a guru who is living the knowledge. What kind of a guru? How do you go? Samitpanihi. That means with humility, carrying the firewood in hand. Because those days in the forest life, firewood was a necessity. So whatever the guru needs, you carry in your hand. Nowadays, even if you carry, you will ask the driver or somebody to carry. People will come with so much of basket full of fruits and sweets and whatnot, but they don't carry themselves. They ask the driver to carry. That is not humility. Samitpani. And to what kind of a guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Who has realized the essence of the Shastras. He is called Shrotriya. He doesn't have to read all the Vedas and all the Upanishads. He knows what is the purpose of the Vedas, purpose of the Upanishads, essence of that. Brahmanishtham. Once who knows the essence, he will be completely given to that. His life will be having no other element at all. Brahmanishtham. Nishtha means nisheshena tishtati. He has nothing other than Brahman in his life. Such a guru one should approach with humility. Okay, we will stop. Next day again, I have only one line. So we will take up the first verse again. There are many more things to be learned. Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः.
Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuh.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuh.
Swasti na indro vriddhashravah.
Swasti na indro vriddhashravah.
Swasti na pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti na pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemih.
Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemih.
Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu.
Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru.